Muito boa noite aos nossos amigos e telespectadores da ConecTv Brasil e também da ConecTv Algarve. Mais uma vez estamos aqui com uma entrevista super especial com Dan Crockerell. Ele é autor do livro Os Segredos da Disney para encantar e fidelizar seus clientes. Está no Brasil para uma série de palestras e também apresentando o seu trabalho no segmento de consultoria de empresas. Nós vamos bater esse papo aqui. Quero, desde já, agradecer a nossa querida Agnès, que está fazendo o trabalho de tradução aqui, e agradecer o Dan. Muito obrigado, por nos conceder essa entrevista nesse nosso bate-papo.
Bom dia! I'm excited to be here in Brazil.
Ok. Não é a sua terceira vez no Brasil, né?
Yeah.
Is it third time?
Third time.
Ok, no Brasil.
Verdade.
Dan, eu queria começar que você contasse um pouco a sua história dentro da Disney. Você trabalhou desde o estacionamento, né? Você trabalhava no estacionamento dos parques, passou por diversos segmentos e chegou a ser o vice-presidente do maior parque, ou pelo menos do parque que mais emociona as pessoas, que é o Magic Kingdom. Conta um pouquinho da sua trajetória.
So I worked at Disney in college for a summer.
Okay.
And when I graduated from school, I wanted to go back to Disney. So I went and I said, I'm here, I'd like a job. And they said, you got it, you're going to park cars. And I said, obrigado. Okay. So I parked cars at Walt Disney World and for 6 months. And then I had a chance to go to France to open Disneyland Paris in 1992. And I opened the parking lot there because that was my specialty. And I stayed in France for 5 years and worked there in frontline roles.
Okay.
I had 19 jobs over my 26 years at Disney. It's really important to get multiple experiences and lots of diverse experiences to understand the guest experience. So I did that 5 years in France and then moved to Florida in 1997 and spent the next 21 years working in parks. I worked in food and beverage. I worked in attractions, merchandise. I worked in hotels for 6 years. I ran the All-Star Hotel that had 6,000 rooms. So I learned a lot about detail. And the last 9 years at Disney, I ran Epcot. I was the vice president of Epcot, and then the vice president of Disney's Hollywood Studios. And then lastly, I was the vice president of the Magic Kingdom. Had 12,000 employees, and we had over 20 million guests visit every year. So it was an exciting job. Sometimes it was scary, but it was incredible. Passionate people, and working 26 years at Disney, you learn a lot about business, about relationships, and how to keep working a successful company.
A cultura da Disney mudou a sua vida? Você é uma pessoa que foi construída, os seus pilares éticos, morais, de trabalho são feitos na forma da Disney?
Absolutely. I think one of the reasons that I was successful at Disney and I enjoyed working there, many of my personal values are shared with how the company operates. Disney expects results, but it also expects a respect for employees and problem solving and teamwork. And I grew up as an athlete, and Disney's very much like a sports team. Everybody contributes. Everybody figures out what their role is to contribute to reach the goal. And for me, it was a natural fit. And it was almost easy for me to be successful there because I could be myself. I could work with people, I could help people, and Disney valued that. And so it was a great fit for me.
Quando você estava no topo da carreira, como vice-presidente, você, na sua palestra, disse que continuava frequentando, passeando pelo parque, conversando com pessoas, conversando com os colaboradores, e que isso contribuía para o seu trabalho de coordenar essa equipe toda. Queria que você falasse um pouco sobre isso, sobre a importância de ouvir quem está ao redor.
The higher you move in an organization, the more important it is to remember where the value is. The 20 million guests that visited the Magic Kingdom, I didn't see most of them. There's too many people. but the 12,000 employees that work for me, they interacted with them. So I remembered what it was like to work in parking. And I remembered what that was, and I knew that that's where the magic happens. It's between the guest and the frontline employee. And my job was always to think about, am I making that opportunity, that interaction, the best it can be? And so every day when I woke up, I had to make big strategic decisions, but I never forgot how important it was for these families who are spending a lot of money. And it had to feel like opening day at the park. And they had to get a great experience, because this may be the only time in their lives they're going to get to visit. And it was a big responsibility, and I took it very seriously. And so I was out there every day talking to employees. What do you need? Do you have the tools you need? Is there anything we can do for you to make your job better, to make your job easier? I would talk to the guests. How can we keep improving? And as long as I talked to the employees and I talked to our guests, I always knew what I needed to work on. And then I could go back to my meetings and make the right kind of decisions.
Ok. Ainda falando, né, agora falando um pouco talvez do conteúdo do livro e falando sobre como transferir essa magia da Disney para as empresas. E na sua palestra você falou que o segredo está em você convencer a pessoa a voltar muitas vezes e convencer os clientes, os customers, a falar bem. Eles têm que ter uma experiência tão boa que ele multiplique essa experiência para outras pessoas. Como que a Disney faz isso e como que as empresas podem fazer isso?
What I've found, every company has advertising. Every company has marketing. And I've come to conclude any company can get you to buy their product or service once. They talk about how great it is and you'll buy it. But once you buy it, you get to make the decision if the quality is there. You get to make the decision if the value is there. So the way we thought about it at Disney, once a guest visits Walt Disney World, once we spend all that money on marketing and we get them to book their vacation, we get them to come, now we have the best opportunity to do the best marketing, which was to take care of them. Make sure that when they left, there was no doubt they were going to come back, and there was no doubt they were going to talk to other people about how great that experience was. So you have to treat every customer like gold. You are so lucky to have them with you. And now that you have them and you have their money, you have to deliver the promise. You have to deliver the value and make sure they walk away feeling good about that money they spent on the experience they had. And that's what Disney does. They treat every guest individually, making sure that we take care of every need, we listen to them. If we make a mistake, we fix it quickly, because if we don't, they're not going to come back. They can go on vacation lots of places in the world,
okay,
and we have to make sure they never think about going anyplace else except back to Disney again, and that's how businesses should run.
Os métodos de trabalho dos parques da Disney fazem com que em Tóquio, em Orlando ou na França, tudo funcione da mesma forma, encante da mesma forma, tenha a mesma magia. Isso eu imagino que é muito treinamento, muito trabalho, muita disciplina para esse treinamento de todas as equipes. Queria que falasse um pouco disso, que é para quem frequenta, para quem já teve a oportunidade de ir em diversos parques, você não nota a diferença, você não sabe se você está na França, ou em Tóquio, ou na Disney de Orlando, ou na de Los Angeles. Como que é feito isso?
Yeah, so what we found is the method is the same.
Okay.
The valuing your employees, making sure you deliver an excellent experience, and having your guests come back again and again. That's the model. Now, it looks different in each country. Every culture is different.
Yeah.
The fairy tales that we tell are different in China than they are in France, than they are in Japan. So culturally, the product looks different. The way we entertain looks different. But the thing that's the same, every parent loves their children, and they want them to have a magical experience.
Okay.
So we talk to the guests in that country who visit the parks. We make sure we deliver the experience they want that's going to be emotionally connecting for theirs. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be different by culture, but the focus on delivering quality and delivering consistency and using methods to deliver that on a consistent basis is the same all around the world.
Eu fiz essa pergunta para provocar a próxima. A princípio, um empresário que esteja nos assistindo, ele vai falar, mas a cultura da Disney já existe. Os funcionários da Disney já têm essa cultura. É muito fácil de fazer a máquina continuar a rodar. Mas para você pegar uma empresa que não tem essa cultura e implementar ela, é possível?
It is absolutely possible, but it starts with leadership.
Yeah.
The president, the CEO, the head of the company has to start there. They have to decide that they want to create a culture that people are going to want to be a part of.
Okay.
Too many companies only focus on profits. They only focus on making money. Money is an outcome of great products and great services. So what the executives need to do, they need to go up and realize, if I create clarity, if I hire the right people, if I train them, if I treat them with respect, I give them the tools they need to deliver the experience, that your customers are going to get a great experience and the money's going to come. But you have to decide at the beginning that you're in this for the long term. Culture isn't built overnight. Yeah. It's built every single day, every single action, every behavior, everything a leader says, everything a leader does, either adds or subtracts from the culture. So they have to be clear in their mind about the place they want their employees to work in, and then they have to talk about that all the time, and they have to role model that. If you want a place where your employees are going to be really nice to your customers, the leadership better be nice to their employees. You can't tell your employees one thing and then do something else. It has to be consistent, and there has to be alignment. Mm-hmm. And it takes a lot of clarity, and it takes discipline, and it takes every day coming in, every single day working at it. And over years, that's how you build culture. And once you build culture, you can do anything you want. Okay. Because everyone understands what the plan is, and everyone understands how they fit into the team.
Uma empresa que contrate o trabalho de vocês, uma empresa que vocês estejam desenvolvendo o trabalho de vocês, como que você faz para dar manutenção? Porque vocês vão dar uma palestra ou dão uma consultoria, fazem a reformulação e depois vocês vão embora fazer outros trabalhos. Como que isso se perpetua dentro daquela empresa? Há um trabalho posterior de acompanhamento que vocês façam?
So our goal is to make sure that we transfer as much knowledge and as much of our processes to the companies while we're there. And as Valerie mentioned, we create the champions. Okay. And we invest in them, and we make them the experts. Okay. There's an expression, you can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, yeah, or teach him how to fish and feed him for a lifetime. Okay. We want to teach people how to fish. Okay. So we want to give them the examples, give them the methods, give them the tools to be able to implement that in their companies. And when we leave, they can keep building and keep evolving. Culture never stops. You're always evolving. Okay. And we check it back in with companies. When we work with companies, it is, we don't do this just for money. It is our personal responsibility to make sure they're successful. Because if we make them successful, they'll call us back again and they'll talk about us in a positive way. Intent to return, intent to recommend, just like Disney. So we need them to be really happy at the end of this and see how much value we help them build. But we don't do it for them, we do it with them.
Ok. O trabalho que vocês desenvolvem é só para big companies ou para todas as empresas?
Yeah, you can input culture. Culture can be at your dinner table with your kids. There's culture. Okay. If you have a company with 2 employees, you create a culture. If you have a company with 10,000 employees, you create a culture. So this isn't a question of size. It's not a question of how big or small your company is. Okay. It's a question of how serious are you about creating a place that people are going to be happy, people are really going to perform and understand what the goals are. So there's no difference in size here. It's all about creating a great experience for whoever you're working for.
Ok. O livro já deve estar em diversos países, mas está sendo lançado no Brasil agora, é isso?
Yes, the book was launched a few months ago. It's available in Brazil.
Ok, e já está então disponível provavelmente aí em todas as livrarias digitais, livrarias físicas, os segredos da Disney para encantar e fidelizar os seus clientes. Para finalizar o nosso papo, eu queria perguntar, o Brasil, que tem características muito diferentes da cultura, inclusive a cultura empresarial norte-americana, é muito diferente. É um desafio mais complicado introduzir essa cultura de sucesso e esse encantamento para empresas brasileiras, ou o brasileiro tem alguma coisa diferente que seja, de repente, até melhor para ensinar essa cultura Disney?
What we find is being able to implement the right culture. It's not a question of what country you live in. It's a question of the leader, the president, the CEO, the owner of the company. If they want to create a culture and that they want to change, they can make that happen. We talk to lots of companies, they say, well, we can't do that here because we are like this. We say, you are like how you decide to be. If you decide that you want to offer great service and you want to hire the right people and have a method to that, and you want to be disciplined in how you deliver that, you can do that. And we only like to work with companies who are ready to change. Because if you're not ready to change, you're going to waste time and money, and we're going to waste time and money. So people have to be really, have courage to want to go do something differently. And the ones who are willing to differentiate themselves and try something new are the ones who are successful. It's the people who are afraid to change, that don't know how to do that, who are going to be left behind. And so as long as we have the right attitude with the companies we're working for, and they're open-minded, and they're willing to learn and listen with us, we can change any company.
Quantas vezes você pretende ainda voltar para dos parques da Disney?
Yeah, our children grew up at Disney,
Yeah.
and we got to take them there. We would go visit the parks, and eventually we're looking forward one day to taking our grandkids there and showing them where we used to work. So it's generational.
Yeah.
Every generation gets to have their own Disney experience, and we'll be the same way.
Ok. Eu queria que você, no final dessa entrevista, se dirigindo diretamente para a câmera, falasse, convidasse os empresários, as empresas brasileiras, para conhecer um pouco mais do método e que pode mudar a história dessas companhias.
It is said that we spend the first 25 years of our life learning, we spend the next 25 years doing, and we spend the next 25 years teaching. Well, I left Disney when I was 49 years old, and now I'm 52 years old, so I'm in the teaching phase. And I had the incredible luck and fortune to work for the Walt Disney Company for 26 years and learn how magic is created. And we've now taken that method and we put it together to share with the world. Brazil is such a great place for us. First of all, what we've learned from the Brazilian culture, people want to improve themselves. They're always looking to improve and get better, which we love. That is part of what we do as a company and personally. Secondly, Brazil loves Disney. We know that. Yeah. I've met many Brazilians at the Magic Kingdom who are so excited to be there, and I know it's a brand that everyone respects and has a lot of credibility. And my wife and I, our goal is to travel the world, and we love being in this country, to meet people, to learn the language, to learn the culture, and we're looking forward to working with you on how to take our method and install it into your business so you can create magic just like Disney does. We work all over the world. We've spent time in South America, we've spent time in Europe working, Australia, and we found that the methodology that we use, it can be the same everywhere. Every culture is different. Your customers and your guests will expect different things, but the processes that we use to put in place can be used in any industry, any size company, and we know the difference in culture. Valerie and I are from different countries. We've traveled the world, and we understand how to put that in place in cultures and work with you to put those in place. So if you're interested, please let us know. We would love to talk to you about how we can help your organization create magic.
Thank you so much.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. É isso aí. Eu quero mais uma vez agradecer a presença aqui do Dan Crockerell, que deu uma aula, né, sobre, apesar do pouco tempo da entrevista, deu uma aula sobre o encantamento e a felicidade que a gente tem que ter quando faz alguma coisa. E aí a dedicação e o sucesso vem por consequência. Muito obrigado por continuarem conectados com a ConecTv. Nós voltamos na próxima semana, sempre com entrevistas diferentes para vocês. Muito obrigado, valeu!